USL is to bring all together 5E principles. You see is the E, as you can see, to bring together much faster than usual, 5, 10, 20 times faster to bring all this together harmoniously. So this is one of my favorite quotes for this subject. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. Buckminster Fuller. So in our life, we are challenged by various conflict and dilemma. What do we choose? Money versus love, work versus pleasure, and then economy versus environment. And economy versus environment is the challenge we have. And the USL and URF is to revolutionize the world, to build a green economy and build a green infrastructure and helping the environment with the USL math education that triggers them very rapidly and effectively and sustainably. 5E global crisis. These are the OE, economy and environmental energy equality crisis we have. And then directly at the personal level, employment and poverty and health and education is the one that we are immediately affected by. And especially poverty, health, and education issues have been dealt by the United Nations Millennium Development Goals since the 2000. Now, for the economic progress, I believe there are 3 pillars critical for the economic progress: human capital, natural capital, and infrastructure. Human capital consists of health and education. But so far, economic progress of the world have heavily focused on efficiency more than sustainability. Now it's time to balance out. And efficiency and sustainability are the 2 keywords we are going to use throughout. And the USL is the one identified for the efficiency, and the URF we try to create is to identify the sustainability more. So USL is going to boost the math education, massive boost globally if possible. And with that, URF is going to be created by United Nations if possible, international treaty first, and then afterward monetarily. Around the world, the entire world is built on the environment and social, and then economy. Economy is usually sitting on top, affecting us a lot. And there have been no developed country in the history, modern history, without building enough of the human capital, especially the education, especially for the boost of the economic boost. Mathematics, effective mathematics education have been the most critical. So again, the 2 economic progress, efficiency and sustainability is used, and the USL for the efficiency, and URF is sustainability. USL is more like husband, URF is like wife, yang and yin. So another metaphor I try to bring is USL is like online video games, it's a content, but to play the game, you need to run on the great computer or great consoles, yeah? This is an analogy. Now, USL with the rapid 2 years of mathematics education boost is going to affect education, which economy, in return, its economy is going to affect everything: education, environment, equality, and energy, and satisfying the 5E global crisis, transforming into the 5E prosperity instead, but while doing so in at least 5 times, 10 times faster than without. Next step is after 2 years of advancing, we are trying to establish the URF1, which is going to build a green economy globally, building the green economy, energy, green environment, and which will help reduce the inequality level at least 5 times. Now, today, USL needs a partner of URF to be established by the United Nations. USL alone can handle the education and economy and equality, but for the environment and energy, which you can see from the right column, you need the URF established by international community, especially by the United Nations. URF funds can boost the green economy. The mechanism is, once established, then it's going to boost the sustainable business, green infrastructure, renewable energy job, and green economy. And doing so can accelerate the current business as usual process much more than that, 5 times at least faster than that. How the rapid 2 years of math education boost project to the economic growth after the quick reforms of math education can contribute. Let's look at. So this is one of the scheme I'm going to show you, basically how least developed country is going to develop much faster than the developed, more developed country growth will be slower. So if you look at this at the bottom, the corresponding part, 2 years of math education, for the already developed one and the developing ones, and it's going to grow more. And for the same economic changes of the 2% per capita GDP growth annually, corresponding that the poorest country growing more, but not at the expense of the environment, but with two keywords, do you remember? Efficiency and sustainability. USL kick in the efficiency, and the URF is going to take care of the sustainable issues massively, so that we can bring the rapid change transformation for the much better world very rapidly, 5, 10 times or more. Basic idea behind all this is, if you look at that, this schema was developed by the Professor Eric Hanschik from Stanford, horizontal and vertical version. If you look at this, it's all the continents on Earth from top to bottom, and the horizontal part is, this is roughly corresponding the math performance part, the worst continents overall, the best performing continents are on the horizontal front. The overall sub-Saharan Africa performed the least, and the Eastern Asia and India seem to do the best, and the best and the worst continent difference is more or less like roughly about 3 years, 3.5 years difference of math schoolings difference, and the corresponding on the vertical part, this is going to translate into the per capita GDP growth rate, correspond to the 3 years, will be about 2.5 years. We are going to focus on, instead of 3 years, this is the entire map. This translates how the human capital, especially math education boosting, is going to translate to the economic growth. That's using the USL, revolutionizing it. So the entire world difference continent-wise is, entire gamut is 3 years. So for now, we are going to focus on the about 2 years of it, corresponding part horizontal red color and the vertical color. That's what we are trying to do. And this, if it's this entire thing, if you look at all these countries, again, the worst performing countries and the best one on the right side is total gamut is roughly about 5+ years or so. And the translated that is going to be 4 years. But this is too much. We are going to break it down into two pieces. So one part, the entire thing can be take 5 years advance of mathematics, and we should translate to the 4% per capita GDP growth boost. We break it into the first to half of it, so about 2 years of advancing that we are trying to achieve first, and then the corresponding part will be economic growth. And currently the green color you see is without USL is going to be growth, and the thin green color on the right side is with the USL, how it's going to be a boost. On the left side, the most developed OECD average is a little bit lesser, but developing country is going to grow more, 4, 5, 6 times. And the least developed continents in the South Asia, Africa, and so on can grow 8 times more than without. And the top, on the right side, far right side, world average, without USL, roughly for the next about 65 years, growing about 10 times. And with the USL, is going to be 5, 6 times growth. Total GDP growth projection with the URF of the bottom is curve is trajectory is without the USL. With the USL, average world GDP growth, economic growth is going to make that difference. As you can see in this, depending on the projection, it's a little bit different. Basically 5, 6, 7 times typically. OECD countries invest over $230 billion each year for the mathematics. And if you see it here, this is from the PISA result. And if you see the projection of the next a decade or so, you can see the difference. Over the decade, OECD country collectively going to boost, invest so much money, but unfortunately, past records show the average is not going to grow much. This is as you can see, the best growing one, Brazil was that, but even for the Brazil, to advance to 2 years of math, even at this level, even if they are lucky, it will take 2 years. And other countries below, Tunisia, Mexico, Turkey, Portugal, the second best one catching up recently, even for them, it will take, even if they are lucky, 30, 40 years to take. If the lower half, if you half of the OECD countries actually getting worse, and the top right corners are mostly Eastern Asia and some Germany and a few other countries, but they are only like 6, 7 countries. The rest of them, you see the map. Yeah? So it's very difficult to improve math education globally.